Good morning, class. My name is Mrs. Anguiano, and today we will be teaching you lesson converting base 5 to base 10. Right here on this bulletin, I have terms and definitions. If you can write these down and put them in your folders, because we will be going over them really fast. So the first term is base 10. This is the base system we use every day in life to count things. It has 10 digits from 0 to 9. The second one is base 5. This is a different base system. It has only 5 digits, 0 to 4. It has a notation that looks like this. It looks like a number 30 to 40 with a base of 5. The third term is the base raised to a power. We need to use a math symbol that we're familiar with yet. It is called a power or an exponent, and it works like this. It's our base number 5, raised to the third power. This is our exponent, and it looks like that. Our next term is conversion table for base 5 to base 10. And we're going to be using this table to go over that. So in the first row, where it says base, we're going to put our 5s because those are our bases. In the second row, we're going to place the value for each column. And then in our third, we're going to put our digits. So from the problem we are solving. And then the fourth row we're going to place is a calculation of the place value and the digits. This will be our number down here. So we're going to start with a few problems. Okay, so just make sure you write these down. I'm going to remove them. Okay, so our first problem, we're going to start here. And it says that for the first line, we're going to write our power, which is 5. I'm sorry, our base. So we're going to do 5s all across our first row. The second row is we are going to solve it. So 5 to the third power, that means we're going to multiply 5 times 5 times 5, and that equals 125. So our answer would be right below row 1 and row 2. And then we would solve 5 to the second power, which is 5 times 5. And then 25, 5 to the first, that means 5 times 1. And then 5 to the 0, which is 1. Our third column is going to be our numbers. So the first number goes in the first column, the 2 goes in the second, the 3 in the third, and the 1 in the fourth. Okay, this is just our problem. And then in our fourth column, we're going to multiply our second row and our third. So 125 times 1 is 125. 25 times 2 is 50. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1. And then we add them all across. 125 plus 50 plus 15 plus 1 is 191. And that's how we come up with our answer. So we're going to go on to a second example. And it's going to be, our first row is going to be our 5s. That's our base. And then we're going to start to the power going from 0 to 3. So we're going to do 5 to the 0, to the 1, to the second, to the third. Then we're going to solve it. So again, 5 times 5 times 5, just like we did up here. So it's 125 This is 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 0 is 1. And then we put our digits in our third, which is our problem. The 2 goes in the first row, the 0 in the second, the 1 in our third, and the 3 in our fourth. And then we multiply the second and the third row to get our fourth row. So 2 times 125 to 50, 25 times 0 is 0. 5 times 1 is 5, and 1 times 3 is 3. And then we add our fourth row, so 25 plus 0 plus 5 plus 3 equals 258. So I'm going to give you one more example before I give you 3 problems of your own to solve. And if you have any questions, you can just raise your hand. So this third one is, oops, I'm sorry. Our third one is over here. We're going to do, our base is 5, 5, 5, 5. Our power, we're going to start 0, 1, 2, 3. 5 to the third power, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 1 is 5. And 5 to the 0 is 1. And then we're gonna bring our numbers, our digits down. So the 1 goes here, our 3 goes here, our 4 goes here, and then our 2 goes in the last one. And then now we're going to multiply our second and third row. So 125 times 1 is 125. 25 times 3 is 75. And then 5 times 4 is 20, and 1 times 2 is 2. And then we add these numbers. 125 plus 75 plus 20 plus 2 equals, and our answer is 222. Okay? Are there any questions so far? Okay, now we are going to work on some problems. Get into groups and work for about 15 minutes. Now walk around and check your work. I'm going to hand out, I need 2 volunteers to help me hand out some worksheets. And then they're going to have blanks and you're going to fill them in. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me when we're ready to check our problems. Okay, so, and then I will need 3 volunteers to help us solve it. Okay? All right, so 15 minutes.